Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I wanted to talk to you about skill-based matchmaking in Modern Warfare and Warzone. Yet again, the topic that just kind of won't die. The gameplay you're seeing right now is just whatever gameplay I was able to cobble together. Typically you see something with a theme or something that I'm working on or a preview of the next in-depth, but the lobbies have been so incredibly sweaty lately. What we're going with is just whatever I view to be even remotely watchable. It's like 3 days worth of my gameplay right here in this short 10-minute video, because it's been rough out there. And I do very honestly believe that over the last week or so, Infinity Ward has adjusted the skill-based matchmaking algorithm, especially in Warzone, to make it much more strict. I do want to point out in the very beginning of the video that this is not a test that I did. This is not a giant analysis that me and Exclusive Ace had to break in half, but this is rather just my own subjective feelings only, and intuition and gamer knowledge and whatever. I'm not going to pretend that it is scientific or factual or the gospel true or anything. And in general, I try to avoid doing videos like this because I don't like going really far down the conspiracy rabbit hole on this channel of like, oh, you know, IW did this and IW gives good players worse ping and it gives you invisible bullets and it does all this like accuracy based matchmaking and a lot of stuff that we can't easily test or prove. And in general, I'm not big into conspiratorial stuff, just like in the news and on this channel. I try to stick mainly to facts, but it's been so ridiculous. I feel like I'm getting hit over the face with something that I can't quite tangibly prove, and that's skill-based matchmaking. For those of you that are longtime subs to this channel, you know that I play Warzone literally every single day. I stream it pretty much every single day on Mixer, and even if I'm not streaming, I'm probably still on there recording, doing a little something or another offline. So I have a pretty good feel of how people play Warzone. I've had a good understanding of how the game has evolved over time, how the meta's evolved, and how, like, you know, players do get better over time. It's not as easy now as it was when it first came out for pretty obvious reasons. But in the last couple of days, I feel like there's been a gigantic spike, just a huge change in difficulty. Previously, I kind of knew what to expect. I could look at an enemy squad, I could see how they were moving and shooting, and about 9 times out of 10, I could accurately gauge how good they are, and then I could choose how to fight them. But recently, it's been every single squad is just downright awesome every time. Like, normally, you know, you'd play and you'd just kind of bumble around, do your contracts, kill some people that aren't so great, and then once it gets down to like the last, you know, 40 people alive, that's the serious group. That's the group that means business. Those are the guys you gotta respect. They're the ones that'll sweat you up with growls and do like little crazy jump shots and drop shots and parkour paths and stuff, but not everybody. However, since I want to say Monday is the first day I noticed this, basically every single gunfight is like a final circle gunfight. Every single drop is incredibly hot. People are shooting me out of the air with pistols quite accurately. They land, they get a bunch of pistol headshots. Usually people kind of land and bumble and they know they need to get a gun, but it's no pressure and I'll get it quickly. But now it's just everybody's doing the same thing I do. The moment you land, if your feet aren't on the ground first and somebody else gets a gun, you're dead. And there's like no reasonable places to land that aren't completely covered. I must have streamed last night for like 3 hours, and every single landing I had 4 squads dropping on top of me, redeploying, winning their gulags, coming back and just sweating it up like nobody's business. And that's abnormal. It's especially abnormal for being the first fight in the game and for it being every single game that I play. And I don't know what's causing this. Well, scientifically, I don't know what's causing this. I can't prove anything, but subjectively, I feel that the quality of my enemies has significantly improved. At this point in the game, I know when I'm fighting a good team. I know when I'm watching people be very accurate. I know by their Damascus camo, their optic jerseys, their loadouts. I know how the way they move. I watch them take interesting flank routes, and pretty much every single team that I'm running against is very competitive, and it's been that way not just for me, but almost everybody else. So I have a lot of friends that play Warzone. I watch other streamers, not too much because I have to focus on my own content, but I kind of keep an eye on what's going on. I watched Tim the Tatman almost have a breakdown the other day over this. I was talking about it with Vicstar and Hutch and Maven. They all said it was getting increasingly sweatier. And my core group, Niku, Queen, J-Hub, Bones, Proc, all the people that you see here on this channel have also told me, hey, this is getting more competitive, because at first I thought, you know, it was just me. I'm having an off day because I try not to just project and blame my weaknesses on other people. I consider that to be one of the biggest weaknesses of all time. Not being able to own up to your own mistakes, not being able to accept your own limitations, and not being able to admit that you still have to work to get better at something is probably the weakest, most beta male kind of thing on the planet that you can do, in my personal opinion. And that's something that I've tried never to do in my life, not just in gaming, but in my life, but to have a very realistic outlook of myself and my strengths and weaknesses and where I fit in and what I can and can't do. So I thought, and as a healthy mindset, okay, maybe I'm slacking. Maybe I'm not on my A game here. Maybe I need to, be a little more serious, put the off-meta weapons away, take it out. Maybe, I've had a headache the last couple days and my neck hurts and it's probably cedar fever and I've got allergies and I'm tired and draining and I don't feel that great. So maybe my mind isn't the clearest. Maybe I'm just tired of Warzone. Maybe I'm burnt out. Maybe the community got a little bit better because I'm here making guides trying to teach people to get better, right? And I tried every day saying, okay, well, maybe it's something else. Maybe it's something else. And then every day I would get on and be like, okay, serious gameplay time, feeling good, feeling clear in the head, got my meta loadouts. I put together a god squad of the best people that I know how to play with, people that we usually just run lobbies, win a couple of games in a row often. And we're getting rolled. We are getting just butchered by people with optic jerseys and Damascus camo growls and purple tracers and everything all over the map. And the only time that we play well, the only time that I get any gameplay is when I stop having fun and take this game super seriously as if I'm playing competitive ranked Overwatch or CSGO or something like that, and when I treat every single gunfight like it is the make or break fight in a tournament and really legitimately try my hardest to survive and compete in this game, that is the only time that I've been able to do anything, to record any gameplay. Any of the stuff you see here in this video has pretty much been that. But it wasn't always like that. I want to say it was about 2.5, maybe 3 weeks ago, I did the Astro Black Lives Matter charity tournament, and I played it the same way, the same level of aggression, the same classes, the same pushing, the same smarts, the same kind of sweaty teammates and everything, and we were dropping 30, 40, maybe closer to 50 kills a game each in that group. You can go back and watch the stream, but when I try to do that today, it's nothing. It's break even. It's barely surviving, and we're struggling. And even people that I know that are much better than myself. I'm not an amazing Warzone player, guys. I don't know if this gameplay looks good to you. I don't think I'm amazing. I don't think I'm exceptional. I don't think I'm a hyper carry or any of that kind of stuff. But I know people that are. I know really, really awesome players at this game, and they're telling me the same story, that it just got almost impossible and unfun for them to play. And the only thing that I can think to blame is something that Demonware or Infinity Ward did with the skill-based matchmaking algorithm. It's very weird that all of a sudden the top 1% players all suddenly start noticing something different, that it's getting more, way more competitive, way harder, something like that. I thought about jumping on a dummy account, a brand new, fresh, free-to-play account to kind of see what's up, but that's kind of reverse boosting and cheating. I don't really want to do that. Yeah, it's mighty suspicious feeling right now, and I don't know if any of you have felt this. I put it out on Twitter. Some people say they've noticed it. Other people say they've noticed that their games actually got significantly easier. So that would, again, indicate some sort of algorithmic adjustment, which we don't know anything about. And there's going to be quite a few of you that criticize me for complaining about something like this, especially with the Drifters talks about beta males and then complains about not being good enough at a video game. You need to get good, scrub. I don't mind that. I don't mind getting good at games. I don't mind getting crushed. Guys, I do early capture events and recording events with pro players and hyper awesome streamers like Nick Merckx and these kind of guys. I know what it's like to play against the top of the I did the Valorant event against CS:GO pros, and I play Warzone with actual pro COD players, and that skill matching is kind of crazy. But this is crazier. The skill matching that I'm getting right now with my streamer friends is giving me much more difficult opponents than when I played with 3 pro players, and that's ridiculous. That shouldn't be happening. And the problem with that for me is twofold. Number one is that it's not particularly fun. It feels stressful. It feels like I can't breathe. It's like Apex, where everybody just floods in from every direction to scavenge, and you've got just seconds to plate up and react before the next group of S&D Money 8s gods rolls up to kind of try to take over your building. And it makes it harder for me to do in-depth. A lot of the stuff that I've done for Warzone in-depth is meta breaking. Which weapons break the meta, which weapons are good, which unusual builds can you do, what's a good alternative to the Grau, you know, stuff like that. But you can't do that at the top 1% of skill bracket. I don't think, I mean, God, according to COD Tracker, I'm not even that good. But I can't do that at the skill bracket that I'm playing in because there is no way to compete with anything that's not the most meta weapon. And that's not really what I want out of a battle royale. If I wanted that, I'd go play Rainbow Six ranked, I'd go play Overwatch ranked, I'd play CSGO ranked, I'd go to the game battle section of this game. I don't really want that in Battle Royale. I don't want to stomp noobs all the time. Honestly, stomping noobs all the time can be just as boring and bad in a different way. I would like to probably, I think the way I said it in the beginning of the video was best. You know, you can bumble around for a bit, and then once it hits like the last 30 to 40 people, everybody's serious and everybody's on your skill level, and that's when you really kind of sweat it out for the win. Not the moment you hit the ground, you're already in the gulag, you're in hell. I don't really like that. So that's it. That's me complaining. That's my suspicions about skill-based matchmaking that I absolutely can't prove without doing another 100 or 200 hour study that'll make me want to kill myself, so I'm not going to do that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and let me know what your experiences with skill matching has been recently. Drifter out.